uh, generate something here. So I'm going to say, I'm going to first I'll just type fruit flavors, right? Then I will shift drag so I can blow it up real fast. Then I will say, now just watch, don't follow along just for a second, just so you can see the kind of 1, 2, 3, okay? So here I've got text, right? I've just typed it in. I don't even care what color it is, it can be any color, you know, because what I'm going to do is kind of try and make it kind of cool, okay? So first I'll go object expand, because I want to have access to those points. Right? Now I've turned that into graphics. Now object ungroup. Now I can make them each their own graphic, and so I can fool around with the simulation of scale shifting. So let's see. Let's do this.
Once you've ungrouped them, you have to individually select all your text again. If you want to just select everything at once.
Yeah. So now I've got, you know, now I'm going for the, but check this out. So this is how you kind of get your logo action going. Right? Let's just deal with just fruit since flavors is one thing. So here's my fruit logo. Tell me you don't like that typography. Andrew, that's especially for you right there. Okay, now hold on, check this out. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to make it look like they're actually in different planes. So I'll select each one. I think this needs to be a lighter color. There we go. So that needs to be slightly darker. That needs to be slightly darker. Now I'm just being picky. Okay, now I grab this. I go Effect, 3D, Extrude, and Bevel. I'm going to extrude this one that direction, about 50 points. Let's see what that'll look like. I think I need more of an extrusion. Whoa, too far. Okay, great. Now I'll get this one, and I'll extrude it. Effect, 3D, Extrude, and Bevel. I'm going to extrude it this way. Preview. Okay. Now I'm going to get this one. Effect, 3D, Extrude, and Bevel. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but you can, by scale shifting, beveling in different ways. Effect, 3D, Extrude, and Bevel. And now, okay, so there's that. Now, let's get this thing really going. Let's, oops. Now we need to make it seem as if they're really in space in different ways. I need to change that. So now, let's see, what's a good depth of field? Let's pretend like this is very far away. This is in the medium ground, this is right here. say this one needs to be really blurry, so we'll go effect, blur, Gaussian blur. Is that blur? A little too much, but you get the idea. Actually, that's way too much. I'll blur this one. Effect, blur, Gaussian blur. So, yeah, so you can actually play. I should probably get rid of that blur. That's too much, but that's just trying to show you. Anyway, so that's one thing you can do. Now, this thing about expanding, object expand, is notice how even though I've extruded and beveled, it still reads it as that original shape of path, right? So if I want access to these, because you can do some brilliant typography, let's do it with the T so you can see. By having access to these planes, right? Especially motionographers, when we start animating stuff, you can use these planes to like make text like fly in and become itself by multiple planes. It's totally killer. So we'll take this, we'll select it, we'll go object expand again, expand appearance. And then object ungroup. It's not behaving very well. Let's try this one. There we go. Object expand appearance. Oh, I have a blur on it, so it's going to behave differently. So this one I want the planes. Notice how now I have the planes, but I have to go object ungroup to have access to the planes. And oftentimes you have to ungroup a couple times when you have a complex object. But eventually it'll let you have access to each of these planes that you can pull apart and use for your own purposes, which can make for some really cool typography. Isn't that cool? It's totally awesome. So I select it, I go object expand appearance, object ungroup, object ungroup. Sometimes you just have to do it twice. And then voila. I've got all these pieces that I can do. So, does that make sense for you guys? Kind of interesting, yes? What else? Oh boy, such some fun stuff. Check this out. If I grab my pen tool and I go, I need a wine bottle for this logo, right? So let's draw a wine bottle. I'll go. Actually, what you do is you draw half of a wine bottle. Notice how smart my guides are. See how my guides are helping me to complete that path? Now I take this half a wine bottle, I select it, I go Effect, 3D, Revolve. I'm going to revolve it so I can see it like this. I say Preview. It's revolved my object into a 3D shape. I've actually got a real 3D object there, which is totally phenomenal.